Can high spiritual values align with making a lot of money? This question used to tug at my heart. It used to divide me, to be honest. And I wonder, when I ask you that question, what is your reaction? In this video, I'm going to discuss my personal journey with it and how I have learned to align the two things. What happened for me? What shifted for me? What did I have to think about differently? What changed? Who did I meet? And I'm going to link to a ton of people at the end who have helped me on my journey. So if this is you and you are feeling like you want to start a business or you want to change your business into something that feels more in line with your purpose, but you still want to make money and you don't really understand how the two things can go together, or you just find yourself having a bit of a reaction. You just feel a bit stuck when you try and earn money from something that is giving service to other people, for example, or a spiritually aligned business or a high value business. When you try to earn money from that, if there is something within you that makes you go, no, stop. This video is for you. Do you have set in stone beliefs about whether or not you can be spiritually aligned and do something of high purpose and high value and make a lot of money? Do the two things go together for you? Are they perfect, like peanut butter and jam or jelly? Or do you have a different reaction? Because a lot of people have a different reaction. So for years, I spent my life as an artist, as a photographer, but as an artist. I would travel the world telling stories, and I would bring huge value to the world, and I would run exhibitions and I would tour with them, and I would talk to people about the things I had seen and why I'd chosen to take the pictures that I had taken. And I loved everything about that. It felt aligned, it felt powerful, it felt creative, it was beautiful, but I made no money. I made enough money to cover the amazing things that I did. And for a while, that was more than enough. It nurtured my soul, it gave me great experiences, introduced me to fantastic people, and it was enough until it wasn't. Then I used my photography for more commercial gain, right? Because I was still in that conundrum of not feeling like being wealthy goes with being spiritually aligned or having high values or good morals. So instead I separated it out, and I had money as this thing that could only be brought to you in abundance with a corporate lifestyle. So spoiler alert for the video, I don't feel like that anymore. So on my journey as an artist, I learned lots of things. I hung out for a period of about 10 years with some really amazing musicians, very high level, very well known, very famous musicians, because I was photographing them, right? And for me, the personal side of that was very, very important. So I was there to do a job. I was there to capture photos during the show for whoever was sponsoring them. And that was important to me. But what was also really important to me was the people behind the musicians, the people behind the act, the persona. And so I got to know a lot of the musicians that I worked with really at quite a personal level. And I built these beautiful relationships. And because I did that, I was able to capture some really beautiful photographs. So if you know about photography, people photography, you know that the way to get the best images possible is to have that connection. Now, sometimes you only have an hour to make that connection with someone. Sometimes you can build that over years, but the better connected the person being photographed feels to you, the better the pictures are going to be. So that was a key part of my ethos. And it didn't make me a lot of money. It made me a lot of friends. It got me very good at my craft. It filled me up. It filled my soul up. I enjoyed it. I loved it. It was fantastic. And then I had my daughter, who is now 18 years old. So we're talking a long time ago. And I realized I need to start making money. It's really important to me. But I couldn't align that with what I was already doing. Also, the whole digital age happened as I was a photographer. I mean, I started my photography career in film. That's how long ago. Some of you won't even know what a film camera is. God, that's weird. Anyway, irrelevant to this story. Cameras became digital, became more accessible, and more people were able to do it. And young people were happy to go to a concert, photograph things, and just get their ticket in. And I couldn't do that anymore. And that's when I first realized I had a struggle with this idea of doing something I love and getting money for it. And I think I did that for a little bit too long. And I entrenched those beliefs in myself. But we all have them, okay? We all have these inner beliefs that usually come from childhood. And I encourage you to think about this. Let me know which of these things resonate for you. So sometimes in childhood, you may have grown up and maybe money was a bit tight. It was a bit of a struggle. You could never have kind of lavish things. You had to be very careful. So therefore, you are now either very, very careful with money or very, very loose with money. And you just spend it because you don't want that same experience you had when you were a child. There will be a reaction to that. Think about your childhood circumstances. If there was friction around money between your parents, or one of your parents had money when your parents didn't have money, that will have informed the way you have a relationship with money and what you expect. Now, we all know that our thoughts influence the way we carry ourselves in life and the things that present themselves to us. So it's really important to go back and unpick a bit of this stuff. In coaching, we tend to think about where are we now? Where do we want to go? But if you want to heal your relationship with money and there's something coming up for you, you feel stuck around it, you do need to go back. And you need to have a think about what could have influenced it. What TV shows did you watch? What ideas did they give you about money? What are society's expectations for you? How do you perceive that? Maybe you're a woman and you have been conditioned to take less money because you are a woman. Maybe you are in a different minority and for whatever reason that has encouraged you or has allowed you to be comfortable with the idea of taking less money. Maybe culturally you come from a background where money is everything and you believe that you have to hustle and grind to get money. Maybe you have a sense of achievement that comes from earning money that doesn't align with where your passion is in life. Because we quite often believe that we can't have huge amounts of money and do a thing that we love. And it's just nonsense. It's not true. I'm here to tell you that it's not true. Now, when I started my coaching journey, I struggled to get people to pay for sessions. Now, let me make it clear. It wasn't that people didn't want to pay. I struggled to ask for money. Now, in the beginning, that was fine because I was still learning. And actually, for me, it felt like I had the highest integrity by telling people, hey, I'm still learning, or I'm really new in my career and I'd love to coach you so I can get testimonials, or I'd love to coach you so I can get the experience and so that I can learn. And honesty, authenticity, so important to me. But let's be real. We can't live off no money. We just can't. And I made a commitment to change my career and to become a coach. And I'm obsessed with being a coach, if you hadn't already realized. If you have never seen any of my other videos, you might be wondering whether I even enjoy coaching, whether I'm thinking of quitting. Absolutely not. It is my obsession. I love transforming people's lives. It is of the highest value to me in my life when my clients tell me what huge epiphanies they've had, what breakthroughs they've had, what transformations they've had. So there is no part of me that wants to change that. Just a year ago, I was only charging £30 an hour for my coaching. Now, this was not because I wasn't a good coach. It wasn't because I wasn't certified. I was. It wasn't because I didn't have the qualifications. I did. It was my own personal relationship with money, and I had these entrenched beliefs that people wouldn't pay for this service. So this time last year, I was at a point where I didn't know what to do. I knew I loved coaching. I knew it was just my favorite thing in the world. I knew I was excellent at it. I knew that I was. But I wasn't making enough money to even cover the bills. I wasn't making enough money to feel valued. And that created a conflict all on its own. There are several pathways I took after this. First thing I did was hire my own coach. Adrian, he has been with me for over a year. I expect I will work with him for many years to come because when you find a good coach, you do not let them go. And through my work with him, I started challenging why I wasn't doing the things in my business that I needed to do to create more income, to create more clients. And I found that I had so many subconscious resistances or limiting beliefs or negative beliefs about money and what that meant and what success meant. Part of my journey was working a lot with some of Aaron Doughty's meditations, some of his courses, and really going deep, doing deep inner work on my own relationship with money. Now, for people that haven't done any inner work at all, this is probably going to sound really crazy, but this is my life. This is my obsession. This is what I highly recommend you do if you resonate with it, is go inwards, go deep and find the things that are stopping you achieving the things that you want to achieve. Part of my problem with earning money from coaching was that the people I learned how to be a coach with were very into hard sales, manipulative sales, cold DMing, just stuff that made me feel icky. I don't know how else to explain it. It was just gross. It made me feel like I didn't even want to be a coach. And I'm not going to lie, I'm surprised I actually carried on with this as a new career when they started teaching us how we should be selling, because it hit massive blocks in me. I hated it. And that wasn't just about resistance and blocks or fear. That was, I hated the way they taught how to sell coaching. I hated everything about it. I am feeling so hasty. And I think it's because we're talking about something that has been quite high stakes for me. So I'm kind of feeling the need to move around a bit. So that's how this video is going to go, because that's how I can give you the best value. After I left the course that made me feel icky about selling the thing that I was great at, the thing that changed people's lives, that's the crazy thing. Coaching transforms people's lives. It's super spiritual, super in line with my values. It's a great thing to do morally and ethically, but ethically, I had a problem with the way the sales was discussed. So I went in search of something, anything, to be honest, that could heal that idea that I had that you cannot be a coach without being kind of sleazy. And I found a group called Full-Time Purpose, run by Victor Odo. Aaron Doughty does some of the pre-work and some of the work in the course. And that changed my life. The reason it changed my life is a lot of the course talks about these blocks that we have. And it's the entire course, actually. It's called Full-Time Purpose. The entire course is literally teaching you how to find your purpose and how to make money from something that feels aligned with you and has value for you. So it was literally just made for me, actually. It was quite weird. And I went through the course and that made a massive difference to me. I made some amazing friends. I'm still on the course. In fact, I am now a support coach for new people who come into the course. And again, I love that. It aligns massively with my values, right? It's high vibe. It's up there. It's great. Through all of those things that I did, Aaron's work, Full-Time Purpose, getting my own coach, doing my own inner work and my own shadow work, I was able to come to the place where I'm at now, where I still don't charge very much. I charge about £120 per session for my coaching, which is going to go up dramatically this year. Watch this space because I will be making videos about it. But I am now comfortable with charging £800 for 6 sessions. I'm very comfortable with having that conversation on the phone with a client. If I feel like my work is going to change their life, I am happy to charge them £800. Now, for a lot of people, I am now working with people who are way above me. People who charge £4,000 for a session. And that's normal for them. And that's one of the things I would suggest doing. If you are in this position, you want to start a business and you want it to be aligned, but you also want it to feel good ethically, I would suggest starting to build yourself a group of people who are doing better than you. Group of people who are doing what you want to do, making money from it and doing it in a way that feels aligned. And that might take you a little while to find your tribe, but that's okay. Take the time to find those groups of people. I mean, join Full-Time Purpose, look it up. There'll be links for it. Full-Time Purpose is a phenomenal place to start. There are other people that have had huge influences on my life. One of them is Melanie Ann Leyer. Now, it's interesting because perspective is a wonderful thing. A lot of people think that Melanie's work is all about making money because she's not cheap, right? She charges hundreds of thousands if you want her as a mentor for the year. Each course that she does, it might be 5 videos or lives, they're usually lives to be fair, where she'll go live with however many people, hundreds and hundreds of people at a time, and you'll pay thousands of pounds for that. And at first I had resistance. And then I started to look into the transformation. And at first, even with Melanie, I had resistance. So I did some free masterminds that she gave out. And I saw the insane value that she gives to me personally. Now, this for me isn't about me saying she is perfect for everybody. Nothing is perfect for everybody. But for me, it was the value I saw. And now I'm in a place where I can start to see the value and put a monetary cost on that. And that's where you need to get to with your business. You need to find ways to support your journey in valuing what you do, but not only valuing what you do, you need to find ways to give yourself proof that there are other people out there that also value what you do enough to pay you decent money. Because I'm not going to lie, when I'm in a call with Melanie and I'm thinking about the fact that some of her memberships are £25,000 or £33,000, and to have her as a coach is hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds a year, I tell you what, it makes me feel like I'm charging nothing, pittance, pennies, when I'm only charging £120 an hour. So having perspective, having things in your life, people in your life, situations in your life that can back up the fact that other people put a high price on what you're doing is going to help you. Also, get good at the thing you're doing. That sounds like such a trite piece of advice, but get good at the thing you're doing and have full confidence when you will be able to sell what you do in an aligned way that feels powerful and feels good and feels magical. That day will come when you are able to confidently sell the thing that you are doing or the service that you have or the thing that you've made. You will be able to sell that to anybody that it would benefit because you know how good it is. You have to know how good the thing you're doing is. So for me, I had a massive transformation when I started to realize the huge life-changing epiphanies my clients were having. And then running things like 7-day workshops and masterminds, doing coaching just by WhatsApp, all sorts of things. For me personally, I found lots of different ways to tell myself, to teach myself, to show myself that my work has massive impact. And a lot of people put a much bigger price on impact than you would ever have thought about. So seek those people out. Let me tell you about Melanie and Leah, because this is a turning point in my relationship with money. So Melanie went from being homeless, working out the front seat of her car, being bankrupt, to being worth something like $70 million, her business. Maybe even more than that. In fact, I suspect it's a lot higher than that, and I've just made that figure up. But it's a lot. Anyway, it's the kind of money that I can't even think about right now. And the thing is, Melanie's energy is super loving, super authentic, super raw, super vulnerable, and so wise. And the important thing for me is that through the work I've done with Melanie, I have learned so much. I've grown as a human being. I've grown as a coach. And that is kind of priceless, isn't it? Understanding that money is a spiritual currency. It's a currency like anything else. You know, your time is a currency. Receiving money for your time, for your wisdom, for your service, for your product is spiritually aligned. Money is energetically charged. Imagine how great the world would be. Here's a great perspective shift. Imagine how great the world would be if all of the billionaires were high vibe, spiritually aligned, running with their purpose in life. The world would be just a magical, magical place. So be one of those people. If you are called to do work that is in your purpose and you want to make lots of money, please become one of those people. Let's fill the world with rich, high vibe, aligned people. Isn't that actually just the answer to so many of the world's problems right now? If you're a good person, then money in your hands creates more good in the world. You know I'm right. I also listen to a lot of super spiritually aligned music, right? And that helps me. For me, I'm a multifaceted person. I'm super ADHD, I'm super creative, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm spiritual, I'm a coach, I'm all of these things. And for me, music is life. Music is so primal that it just speaks to my soul. I would highly recommend that you listen to someone called Narco and Medicine for the People. Now, he started to change my life with his music probably almost 10 years ago now. And some of his lyrics just make you think about resistance to money and resistance to being in alignment in a different way. And it hits home. One of the lyrics of one of his songs are, "Would you believe it if you knew what you were for and how you became so informed?" And a different part of the song says, "I am a miracle made up of particles. And in this existence, I'll make a difference and I will have lived it." And that for me captures my journey as a spiritual entrepreneur, as somebody who wants to make money, but also live in alignment with their values and their spiritual needs. These lyrics literally give me chills every time I hear it, whether it's live, whether it's on my Spotify and my headphones. I even have a sweatshirt that says, "I am a miracle made up of particles," to remind me that this is the way I see the world. Have a think about the limiting beliefs that you might have around money. They could be money is bad, money is the cause of all evil. Money is bad, let's dismiss that right away. Money is neutral. Money is whatever you want it to be. If you're a bad person, you have lots of money, the money's going to be bad. If you're a good person, you have lots of money, that money is going to be altruistic, it's going to help people, it's going to inspire people, it's going to be magical. How about this one? Only greedy people deserve money. Good people deserve wealth too. I would argue that good people who are in spiritual alignment deserve money more than the greedy people. I have now met, made friends with, hung out with, worked with millionaires who are so compassionate, beautifully in tune with other people, and here to be of service to other people. And that has changed my thinking on money quite dramatically. What about this one? I don't deserve success. You are worthy and you are capable. This one is deeply personal, and for this, I highly recommend looking up Aaron's meditations. One of his meditations that transformed things for me was his inner child meditation. If you literally just Google Aaron Doughty inner child meditation, you'll find a whole plethora of meditations that you can go into. Also, he does a bunch of free challenges. He does a bunch of paid challenges. He has a group on School called High Vibe Tribe. I highly recommend that you check that out because it will help you stay on track spiritually. My counter to I don't deserve money would be, why don't you deserve money? Why don't you think you're worthy of having enough money to live the life that you want? If we believe spiritually that we create our own experiences, we create our own reality, then surely we believe that we are powerful enough to create the wealth and abundance that we want to live the life that we want. And surely that is us in our godlike state, in our state of creator, in our state of spiritual oneness. What about fearing judgment? What about the fear of judgment for wanting financial abundance? Your desire is divine. Quite often this comes down to, what will my family think? What will my friends think? It's usually family, because it usually comes from something that feels familiar from our family, right? Usually we have these beliefs, these systems that we've become entrenched in because we grew up with them, where we have a belief that money is good or money is bad. Usually when we grow up, we have this idea that we need to stay in the same situation we were in as children growing up, because our brains default to our childhood as the safest experience, because we expect that as a child, our needs will be taken care of. And subconsciously, without thinking about it, we go back to that. We look for that. We put ourselves into situations that make us feel the way we did when we were a child. Now, if you grew up and you didn't have enough money and things were a struggle, then you're going to have to break that cycle consciously. But that's part of the work that we're doing here. So lean into it. Discover what it is that you're thinking, what's holding you back. Do the work, release it, and then come back to this video and tell me that you did that. People who want to make money from their purpose often believe that they are by themselves, they are alone, because they are changing the generational patterns of their family. However, your tribe is out there. We are here, we are working on the same thing. There are thousands of us, hundreds of thousands of us around the globe that are working on being in alignment, doing something that makes us feel that we are living our purpose. We are working ethically and morally, and we want wealth. We are working towards financial freedom and abundance, and there is a whole tribe of us out here that can hold you and support you. So if you are on this journey, feel free to use the comment section to connect with each other. Feel free to use the comment section here to tell me what your limiting beliefs are, or to ask me to point you in different directions, because I am more than happy to share anyone or anything that I have come across that has helped me. There's no gatekeeping here. So if I've said something in this video that makes you think, what was that? I would love to know more about that. That could really help me. Then just message me. Emma, you said this. I want to know more about that. Show me where to find that, and I will send you a link. I honestly don't know what is going on for me making this video, but I just can't stay in one position. So it is what it is. You're just going to have to deal with it. That's the ADHD in me. Also, it's probably a reaction to what we're talking about, because this had a massive impact on my life. So let's come full circle. Let's come back to the beginning. Can high spiritual values and moral ethics go hand in hand with making money, being wealthy, wanting abundance? My answer, from the bottom of my heart, is absolutely a massive resounding yes. And I am so excited because actually in making this video, it's made me realize how much I have let go of and how far I have come from where I was energetically and in my thoughts and my feels a year ago to where I am now. And I'm so excited to see where will I be in a year from now, because I've started to cut those ties to the negative beliefs. I've started to uncover the subconscious beliefs that were holding me back. I'm surrounding myself with people who are millionaires, but who are beautiful people and who are living their purpose. I have definitely learned and accepted that being spiritual doesn't mean shunning the material world. Yes, you can be spiritual and you can live like a monk, and you can go and live like they did in India, the ascetic, go and live with absolutely nothing, just a loincloth and whatever the community gives you. You can not eat for 40 days and 40 nights. That's a whole other video. But you don't have to. There is not a disparity between being wealthy and being an excellent human being. You can be both. So if there are people that I've mentioned that you want more details on, and Google isn't helping you out, then ask me. I will show you. But I'm hoping that this video will give you some peace when you ask yourself the question, can I be spiritually aligned, high morals, high ethics, and want wealth and be looking for financial abundance? Because the answer is absolutely, categorically yes. Remember, you are a miracle, and by living your purpose and taking the money that you need to create the life you want, you are going to inspire other people, and you are going to do even more good than you are doing with the work that you are doing. You deserve it, and the world deserves to benefit from your prosperity. Be an inspiration for other people who are where you are now. If you have been with me through this whole video, then I appreciate you. And also, I hope that I've been able to give you some inspiration and some value and some answer to the question. If there are questions I didn't answer, let me know and I'll get back to you. But just remember that abundance is the natural state of the universe. As always, guys, have the best day.